This video will show you how to set up and use the Panasonic GH5S from the LSBU Kitroom. To insert the battery into the camera, slide the release lever into the direction of the arrow shown on the battery cover. Insert the battery all the way in until you hear a locking sound, and then check with the battery door that it is locked by the lever. When removing the battery, push the lever toward the arrow and then pull out the battery. To remove the base plate, push the quick release lever down and then pull this lever towards you. Mount the base plate onto the camera, ensuring that it has been securely tightened. Mount the camera by pulling the lever and lining up the base plate with the tripod. This will then easily secure it into place. To insert a lens, line up the red point with the lens with the red point of the sensor so that it will easily fit in. Once you place the lens, turn it clockwise so it has locked. A 12x60mm lens always comes attached with the GH5S. To remove a lens, press the button next to the sensor and turn the lens anti-clockwise. To attach an EF lens to the GH5S, you'll need a Metabones Adapter. A Metabones Adapter is provided with the kit. Attach the adapter as you would a normal lens. Remove the cover and then you can attach your lens onto this adapter. Remember that the 12x60mm lens will not attach to the Metabones Adapter, so in order to use this adapter, ensure that you hire an extra lens. If you are not using the Metabones Adapter during the shoot, ensure it is packed away in the box provided with the GH5S kit. To insert the SD card, slide the card door open, push the SD card in securely all the way until you hear a click. To remove the SD card, push in the SD card until you hear a click, and then you can remove the SD card safely. The GH5S has an LCD screen which you can adjust to whatever way you feel most comfortable. Turn the camera on by using the on-off switch on the top right of the camera body. A green LED light will display indicating that the camera is on. Ensure that the camera is set to video mode by turning the dial next to the on-off switch to M with the camcorder logo next to it. If you find that the dial is not turning, that is because it has not been unlocked. Unlock the dial by clicking the button on top of the dial. To open up the menu, press Menu, which is on the back of the camera, then use the wheel to navigate across the menu. Press this button to go back or exit the menu. There are 6 sub-menus on the GH5S: Rec, Motion Picture, Custom, Setup, My Menu, and Playback. This is the menu used for recording mode, which is the mode you should be using. When first using the GH5S, you should change the exposure mode to manual. This will allow you to have full control of your shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. Your LCD screen will then look like this once you have set the camera to manual. This is your shutter speed. This is your aperture. This is your ISO. This is your recording quality. This is your picture style. This shows how much storage you have left on your card. This right here is your white balance. This shows the camera mode you are in. This shows that stabilization is on. This icon indicates you are on manual focus. The LCD of the GH5S is also a touchscreen, so you can use the touchscreen instead of the menu to go through all the options if you want quick access. Press this arrow to go into the menu on the screen for the GH5S. This indicates your flash. You won't need to worry about this when you're in video mode. This indicates which card your camera is recording into. To change the shutter speed, simply turn this dial, and on the LCD screen you will see the shutter speed display start to change. To change the aperture, simply turn the wheel on the back of the camera, and then you will see the aperture display change on the LCD screen. To get the best out of your productions, go into Rec Format on the Motion Picture submenu and select MP4. When you select MP4, you then have the option to film in 4K. Go into Rec Quality, and then you can see all the resolutions that you can film in. We suggest using 4K 100mm 25p. Always remember, the higher the resolution, the larger the storage size. To change your picture style, go down to Photo Style. We recommend to just go with neutral, but if you are set on a certain picture style, there are a bunch of preset picture styles in the menu. You can then go down across the picture style that you've selected to change things such as contrast, saturation, and more. You have the option to set a stabilizer on or off during your shoot. We recommend to keep the stabilizer on, especially if you're going to be using the GH5S for handheld shots. To set the ISO, press the ISO button on the top of the camera, and then using the dial on top of the camera, you can then select your ISO. Always remember, the higher you go with ISO, the grainier the film will look. To set your white balance, press the white balance button on top of the camera, and then using the scroller on top of the camera, you can then select your white balance. You can either use the preset white balance, depending on what your scene is like, or you can go to Kelvin, where you can adjust the color temperature for your shot. The ring on the back is your zoom, and the ring on the front is your focus. To start recording your footage, you can either press the record button on top of the camera, or you can press the shutter once, which will then start recording your footage. To play back footage, press the play button, and this will then play back your most recent shot. Use the joystick to scroll backwards and forwards to see the clips you have shot. To play back your video, press the play button, and this will then play your shot. If you want to delete any shots, press the joystick, and then you can either delete that single shot, delete multiple shots, or delete everything that you have shot. Your audio settings are on the left hand side of the camera. You have a mini jack for the mic, and you have a jack for the headphones. It is always recommended to record audio on a Zoom recorder, as the GH5S does not have an XLR input. Once you are finished with the GH5S, you'll need to format the card and reset the camera before returning it to the Kitroom. To format the card, go into settings and navigate down to format. Once you have formatted the card, go into the same settings menu and go down to reset. It will then ask you to reset various settings. Press yes for all of them. Once you've cleared all these settings, the camera will be ready to return to the Kitroom. For more inquiries, please contact us via email, kitroom@lsbu.ac.uk.